Hello, thank you guys for coming back. I mean, that's pretty decent after that horrible first video I did, but thank you for coming back. Again, my name is Kendeka. This is in reference to my new dog breeding business from start to finish. I am actually here at the laundromat doing laundry because it's very important to have clean clothes. But I am currently at the laundromat with my actual current dog, Bam Bam. He will not be in my breeding program. He is currently a ballless wonder because he has no balls. That's what happens when they get snipped. But it's Lady Bam Bam. Bam. Can you see yourself? Back up, son. Back up, back up, back. That's it. Okay. So this is my dog Bam Bam. I have had him since he was 6 weeks old. No, it's a little early, but there's a backstory for that I'll do in a whole nother video. But he will be with me on my little journey to stardom. No, I'm kidding. But on my journey from start to finish. As of current, I've decided to get an apartment for a year and then go forth and get a travel trailer that I will park on the property that I buy for my business. Gotta pay off debt though, because it's very important to have no debt. Although technically it shouldn't matter on my debt portion because I would be getting banking information and starting credit on my actual business. So my business will have its own line of credit. But we're not worried about that right now. We're trying to go in chronological order because there is a website that I'm using that is giving me kind of step-by-step instructions, if that makes any sense, on how to get it started. I have my logo somewhat planned out. Not completely done, but somewhat planned out, so it's not that bad. And this is me on a Sunday with my dog doing laundry. That's about it. There won't be anything much happening. There will be a video in reference to just Bam Bam coming up within this week or next week. Probably the end of this week, honestly. Just how I got him, his backstory, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty in reference to the breeding business that I'm wanting to do. I'm weird, but I hate actually calling it a breeding business. Don't ask me why. It's just because these are still going to be my pets at the end of the day. Yes, they will be bred for... I lost my train of thought. Yes, the dogs will be used for breeding purposes, but they will still be my pets. They will still, while I still have very few, because I only have Bam Bam now, but within the next year or so, hopefully it won't be a year, it's probably about the next couple of months, I will be moving into an apartment, and then I will be going forth to get puppies to start my business. I will, as I told you guys previously, I will be breeding 4 different types of dogs. The first dog is the Akita. I will not be starting with the Akita. Second breed is the Bernese Mountain Dog. That will be the dog I will be starting with. Then we'll have Newfoundlands as well, and then Siberian Huskies. I decided to start with the Bernese Mountain Dog because the new apartment complex that I want to go into actually allows them. So hey, because most of the time they're usually on like a breed restriction list, but this apartment actually allows them. So I'll be starting with them. The canine college that I'm going through actually recommends that you get your brood bitch, as they like to call them. I think that's a little rude, but your female dog from the age of 18 months to 2 years, because then it's only a couple months to right then and there where you can get their hip dysplasia and other health tests done. It was referred and recommended to me by one of my subscribers and a couple of other friends that I get them from Puppyhood. That way, when I do breed them, both male and female from Puppyhood, when I do breed them, they're at least used to each other, so it probably won't be as bad as if I'm trying to breed her with a stranger. Worst comes to worst, though, if there are any health issues by the time the puppies do get 2 years of age and get their testing done, if there is any issues with health to where I don't want to breed them, I will still keep the dog, but I will 9 times out of 10, depending on if it's my female that is having issues, 9 times out of 10 look for a stud dog. If it's my male having issues, or if it's my female having issues, I will look at I will look for another female but stud out my dog. If it's my male having issues, then I will look for another male to mate with my female. If that made sense, because I think I just got that backwards. But y'all get where I'm going with this, okay? Heads up, because I'm all over the place, literally all over the place. So I might be talking about one thing and then jump to another and then jump back into a conversation, and y'all just be like, hold on, I am lost. It's not on purpose, that's just literally how I am. I will get lost, so bear with me. Don't expect many puppy videos for the first couple of months, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you, won't be no puppies. The only puppy I got is Bam Bam, and he's 5. So technically not a puppy. Maybe a young adult, but not a puppy dog. So, yeah, I'm kind of all over the place, and there will be no puppy videos. I will have a video that's just in reference to Bam Bam, and when I get my puppies, I will have a puppy videos then. But as of current, there will be no puppy videos. It'll just be me talking. So if you like my talking, go ahead, subscribe, whatever. Listen to me ramble on and fumble over words and pause mid-sentence and look up in the sky like it's going to tell me what else I'm supposed to say. But if you're looking for the puppy videos like right away, that's a no-go. Have no puppy video to show you. Might do a puppy video at the dog park. Just so you can see all the dogs that go to the dog park that we go to. But other than that, those are probably the only dog interactions other than my dog that you actually see until I get my puppies. I will have some training videos in reference to what I am training my dogs to do. Disclaimer, not a professional trainer, okay? Just so you know, okay? Not a professional trainer. I'm a me trainer, and me trainer does what me trainer want to do, and hopefully it works. You'll hear me refer later on when I actually start training the puppies. You'll hear me refer to my lazy way of training, because I taught Bam Bam to raise his paw because I refused to bend over every time the leash got underneath it. So I'd tell him to sit and give me paw, and I could untangle it without having to bend over, because I'm fat and don't like to bend over, okay? Just gonna be honest. It's me in a nutshell. I don't think I'm lazy. There's some things I don't want to do. So like bending over, hunching over to untangle a leash from a dog that's like knee high, it's not what I want to do. So I will train, like I did Bam Bam, I will train them to lift their paws so that I don't have to bend over. And 9 times out of 10, Bam Bam now does it on his own. If his leash gets tangled, I don't have to tell him I don't have to put him in a full sit. He'll just lift up his own paw and work himself out. And after it gets behind his back paw, he's got to flop on the floor and roll over because, again, don't feel like bending over. Eventually I will if it's too tangled, but for the most part, he's got to get it undone. I taught him other way, go around, because he would get himself wrapped around trees and poles because I went one way and he zagged. And I refused to have to walk back around a tree when he got himself stuck in the first place. So I taught him to go back around so that he would learn, hey, if you're stuck, get unstuck. Mama's not just going to do it every time, because, again, lazy way of training. But it'll help them mentally, though, if you ask me. Again, not an expert, but I think it helps them mentally because it's problem solving. So it's not like the normal problem solving games where they got to get the treat out of the Kong or get the treat out of a tray, but they've got to figure out how to operate it. It's literally using their brain cells to be like, hey, I'm stuck. Let me get unstuck. Not a bad thing to do. I'm also going to be doing a fostering as well. It's not going to be really a business, but as my YouTube channel grows, I'm hoping that it will become something that will be something I can do with multiple dogs when I get my actual house, not the travel trailer or the apartment. It'll start off with breeding the dogs, then it'll go to fostering, because I'm going to try to rehabilitate some of the dogs. I'm going to start with kill shelters first, the ones with the 72 hours. I think it's like 24 to 72 hours depending on the shelter. But I'm going to start with those types of shelters and get out some of their dogs that are about to be put down to, and inadvertently it'll free up space, which will be more dogs about to go in for that. So I will give the dogs roughly a week or so of trying to work out the kinks. Like some dogs, they just don't like smaller dogs. I can try, again, not a professional, but I can try to desensitize them to that. Don't like kids, I can try to desensitize them to that. Start off with the kid's toy, kid's scent, and work my way up and hope for the best. If it does not work, then that's where you guys will actually come in. And then, because it gives, not only are the dog not in the kill shelter anymore, but it also gives them more time for me and like the shelter to actually find homes for them, which is where y'all come in. So those that are looking for a dog and you just happen to like one of the ones that I'm currently working with or one of the ones that I'm fostering, that helps me out as far as getting the dog placed. It helps the shelter out as far as freeing up space for more dogs to come in. And then it will also help out that dog in the long run because then they're not euthanized. Is that how you say it? Euthanized? Euthanized. We're going to stick with that one. I'm not sure if that's right, but we're going to stick with that. Which is great because then there's less dogs that are out there in the streets, in the shelters being put down. And then eventually I will work out to the ones that are non-kill shelters, but I want to start with the kill shelters first just because they are time sensitive. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? My dogs, they will not be bred for any show dog. They will have limited registration through, 9 times out of 10 I'm going to register them through the AKC. They will just have the limited registration, which means they will be companion pets. If you think about it, or if I think about it, because I got to think about it, I would technically be breeding 6 breeds of dogs, but 2 of them are mixed breeds. Here's what I want to do, okay? So, the Akita. I want to breed the Bern Akita, which is the Bernese Mountain Dog and Akita mix. So I want to breed those 2 dogs together to try to get a mellowed out Bernese Mountain Dog type of vibe that does not require as much hands-on, because the Bernese Mountain Dog is high energy, working class dog, so is the Akita. But I want to try to mellow out the Bernese hyperactivity with the Akita's more somber, I think that's what I'm looking for, more somber effect, to get bigger dogs that can be service animals. Because I noticed that with, no offense to anyone, with the elderly, most of their service animals are small, little pocket pooches, nothing wrong with that. Then you have, as far as bigger dogs go for service animals, you've got like your golden retrievers, still high energy. What else do you have? You have your German Shepherds. What else is there? Those are the 2 I can think of off the top of my head. You have those 2. But then the most biggest ones that I've ever seen as far as service animal or emotional support anywhere is the Great Dane. And no offense to anyone, but I consider the Great Dane like the naked mole rats of the dog breed. It's harsh, but like they have virtually no fur, okay? So it's like a Chihuahua, just really, really big. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think some elderly would prefer the bigger sized dogs that are cuddle bugs. So like with the fluffy hair between the Akita and the Bernese Mountain Dog, that's that. That would be literally what I'm breeding the Bern Akita for, is for service animal tree. The Akita that I will be breeding will be for companion dogs, but if I happen to find a couple in my litter that I think would go well with your service animals or emotional support, I think like they're mellowed enough, like they have like, for those that are kids with autism, they still have to get up and go to play with kids, but like still have that mellowed out function for when the kid's not feeling it. I want to be able to breed dogs like that, as well as those with mobility issues. That would be where my Bernese Mountain Dog comes in, the purebreds, because if they're not just pet animals or pet companions, because each of my breeds, I will be looking, individual breed that I'm breeding, I will be looking for the mellowed out version, someone that a puppy that I think could perform a certain task. So I would want that. Because I will be hopefully working with companies that are out here in Colorado, like Schools for Deaf and Blind, the mobility schools, to get a feel and see if my any of my pets show any potential to be service animal. And then depending on what they recommend, either I will pay for the training or I'm not sure how that'll work out. I haven't quite got that far. It's just planning process still. But I would want to be able to get the puppy trained to be a service animal in reference to that so that they can help whoever. Bernese Mountain Dogs would mainly be for mobility, I'm thinking. They will be for other things, but mobility is the main thing for me in reference to them because they were bred to pull carts a long time ago. Then I will have the Newfoundlands, I'm missing a breed, the Bernese. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you about this. So, the Bernese is a mixture between the Bernese Mountain Dog and a Newfoundland. I know what you're thinking. A lot of fur. The issue with that is, I love the floof, okay? I'm not going to lie about it. That litter, I will actually only do one litter of that, ever. And that's just because the puppy that I get from there will literally just be a pet or a service animal. That's it. And the rest of them will go to forever homes for pet purposes unless I find a good one that I would think would be, again, good for service animal or emotional support. But that one would be based off if I get enough comments saying, hey, yeah, I would want a Bernese, which is a Bernese Mountain Dog in Newfoundland, like I said. I would want a Bernese puppy. You know, I'd have to have enough people that tell me they want one before I just go making a litter and then have this entire litter that no one wants one of. You know what I mean? So that's that one. Then you have the Newfoundland itself, which will be, again, pet companion, and then service animal or emotional support depending on the temperaments between the dogs. Then I will have the Siberian Husky. I'm really only doing that one for a pet companion, but again, any dog really can be a service animal or a emotional support animal based off training and temperament and a couple other factors that factor into that. So I'm like, hey, don't count it out just because it's a Siberian Husky and high drive and high energy and needing all this exercise. It could still possibly be a good companion, good companion pet or a service animal or an emotional support animal. So don't count it out. But those are the technically 6 puppy breeds that I will be breeding for specific breeds as far as dogs go. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I keep licking my lips because I was not prepared for this video. Like, I knew I was gonna do one today while I was sitting here waiting on laundry, but I didn't put on chapstick before I started this video, so beg your pardon for the white lips that you see. Okay, hold on, let me get the chapstick. Oh, crap. Hang on, Bam, hold on. I can tell you're a dog, you're just so nosy. What did I do with that chapstick? I just had it. Just had it, but didn't put none on. But I just had it. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh, crap. It fell in the bag. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Alright, so yes, I put the chapstick all over, but I'm quite sure, as y'all have noticed, my ash gets all over as well. So, back on topic, sorry. But, yeah, okay, so, puppy prices. My puppy prices will actually change based off the dog that I am currently, or will be, breeding. All of my animals, because I have a passion for this. So those that don't have their animals service dog, emotional support registered, or at least have gone through the training to be registered, this comment's for you. I'm gonna need y'all to go do it, okay? You don't actually have to do it, but I would prefer you did. And here's my reasoning behind that. So, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of dogs that go in the shelter are abandoned. correct? Okay, yeah, we've all accomplished that. There are abandoned issues. But a portion of those dogs that go in there are abandoned because owners got onto hard times. The animal was owner died and didn't have anything set up for where the pup was to go when they died. Because the same way, my thought process behind getting an emotional support animal registered and trained, as well as service animal registered and trained for any type of service. It doesn't have to be anything major, just a service. It's because the same way you plan, the same way you go through. Is that me? No, it ain't me. Okay. So the same way you plan for your death, you get a 401k or whatever, you put aside money for your burial and everything else, the same way, and then you have your little will and testament, the same way you plan for your family, you should plan for your pet. Okay? So I know what you're thinking. Well, Kandeka, what does that have to do with getting an emotional support animal registered and trained, or service animal registered and trained? Well, if you think about it, a lot of the pets that go into shelters aren't emotional support animal or service animal. But if they were, I think they would have a better chance of getting placed quicker than if they're just a regular pet. Because if you have a service animal, it's trained for a service. So it'd be in foster care with another family for a couple of days at most, while they get transportation set up for someone that needs a service animal that performs a certain task or specific task that you had your dog trained for. So, like Bam Bam, he is currently not registered for anything, but he will be registered as an emotional support animal hopefully by the end of this month, and a service animal a couple months from then. I'm actually looking into places because he will be a anxiety depression dog. Yes, I do have anxiety and depression. Who doesn't? Okay, but he will be an emotional support animal to start, but then we will get him trained. I just have to find, because for the most part I have trained Bama myself. I trained him by myself until he was 2, and then we went to PetSmart for his beginner, which he passed and graduated from, and his intermediate courses. But other than that, he's roughly been self-taught. So, but I want to find a place that'll teach me, or at least tell me what I need to train him to do, so that he can be my anxiety depression dog and calm me down when I'm having issues, or at least just be there to help me. So, but I wouldn't know what specifically he needs to be taught to do that, which is why I'm looking into. Bam, come here. This way. Thank you. Come. You're in the way. This side. Come on. Okay, there you go. Sit. You're good. There you go, Bubba. Okay, sorry. People were trying to get by. Sorry. What was I saying? Right, to get to where he can be a service animal for that. So that would be my main concern, is getting him trained for it. I will not let someone take my dog and train them. If that is what you want to do it. However, because I have spent so much time training him for the things that he does know, and then going to PetSmart to help further along his progress, I just prefer to train him on my own. Now, I have no problem getting help with that, though. Being told, hey, you might want to teach them this, or you might want to teach him this, or this is how you would teach this. Like PetSmart does, because you go into the class and they're just like, you would teach them sit like this. Now, mind you, he had to sit down before we even went in there. I mean, like, because he's 2. I mean, he at least better know how to sit. But, like, it's the thought behind it. It's the principle of it. So that is my reasoning for the whole asking that you get them registered, or for any service if they can perform one, just so that if something does happen to you, your dog's not just in a shelter hoping for the next home. It at least has an opportunity to possibly be placed in another home where the services that he is registered for can be of assistance, which would also hopefully free up spaces in the shelter as well. So every single dog I ever own will be registered for something. The fosters will not. They'll just, from the shelters, I will just grab them. I will get them and try to and foster them for a bit and try to rehabilitate them. And if I can work out their quirks, good. If I can't, then I just know, hey, when I when I help to try to find them a placement home, I at least know that, hey, this is what they cannot tolerate, this, that, and the fourth. So that it's less likely they'll wind up back where they came from. Um, that's another reason why the YouTube channel is here, is for that as well, so that when my fan base, if it ever gets any bigger than 2 subscribers, but when my fan base gets bigger, then um, they will be able to, some of my subscribers might be willing to take in or adopt a dog. And if it gets big enough, then it'll be to the point where I'm probably fostering out and then placing dogs pretty quick, or at least hanging on to them until the shelter or whatever can place them. And then any placement will actually go through the shelter, so you guys might reach out to me via YouTube or whatever, but the placements will actually go through the shelter themselves. They will be doing your screening, because I don't know what all is required for that. I can find out, but for now, it's not something that I'm going to be doing right this second. So there's time to figure all that out. But I don't want to, just be wilding it and be like, okay, yeah, I can get you this dog, when I don't know what all goes into the adoption process and stuff like that. So to start, we'll just be, me and Bam Bam will just be breeding dogs. All my dogs will be pet companions. However, they will be registered for some sort of service. Bam Bam will be the first one to go through that predicament, because he's the dog I have. So he'll be the first one to get registered for a service and emotional support. We'll start with the emotional though, but he will eventually be a service dog for anxiety and depression. 2 dogs that I will be getting in the next 2 to 3 months. I'm gonna say 2 to 3 months will be the Bernese Mountain Dog puppies. I'll be getting 1 male, 1 female, and I'll be training them from birth. So there will be training videos. Again, not an expert, so don't just be taking my videos and be like, that's how I'm gonna train my dog. That's not how you gonna train your dog and then look at me when it don't work. Did what I do for my dogs. Now, if you want to take my videos, look at them and be like, okay, well, that makes sense. That might work. Do it. But don't come in my DMs and my comments telling my son, you told me, because that can't tell you nothing. Because that can't tell you nothing. Okay. But if you find them helpful and they actually work for your dog, good. If you find, no, that's not the best for me, don't do it. It is your pet that you own. It is the responsibility of the owner to train them. If you feel that the training that I'm doing for my dog is not going to work for yours, don't do it. Don't force it upon a dog that you know that method probably isn't the best for them. Go with what you think is best. There are multiple actual dog trainers that are all over YouTube, okay? Look at theirs, okay? Don't look at mine, because mine don't look at high mess. But look at theirs. Like I said, I'm not a professional trainer. I am just me, myself, and I, and worked at Walmart for 5 years. Not a professional trainer. Okay, so, but if you find something that you think is helpful for your pet or pooch in the current situation, feel free to try it. But don't come in my comments telling about something that did not work, because again, not a professional trainer. Okay, moving on then. But puppy prices, that's where we were at. I got sidetracked. Okay. So the puppy prices are somewhat set in stone. The only time the puppy prices will change is when my dogs get registered for whatever service or emotional support that they get registered for. Because Bam Bam will not be the only one done. All my pets, whether they're in my breeding program or not, if I decide to adopt a dog, any dog I adopt will be registered for ESA or service animal. Any dog that is in my breeding program will be registered for ESA or SA. Okay, so the prices might just be regular dirt cheap price. I shouldn't say dirt cheap, but cheaper than what you would see on your breeding sites. They might be cheaper. However, as soon as I get paperwork and they're registered in the system as an emotional support or a service animal, then the pricing of the puppies will go up. They're not going up to $3 million like they do with the champion bloodline puppies that are from show dogs and stuff. I'm gonna be honest. You want to show off your pooch? Show off your pooch. I, however, will not do that unless I find the absolute best pooch ever. I'm talking, I've got to have full-on confidence about this pooch, okay? Because I'm going hands in, no holds bar in reference to this pooch. So I want the pooch to actually be dime in a dozen. The one that I think is stunning, like just strutting they stuff, okay? And 9 times out of 10, I probably will never do the whole champion bloodline circuit for, like, what is it they call that thing? Batman. What's it called? Batman. What's it called? Show dog. Gotcha. Okay, I will probably never do the show dog thing. If I find like I said, if I find the proper puppy that I want to train and I feel this one will do good in the show, then eventually I will. But for right now, I have no plans to, in now or in the future, to do any type of show dog thing. It'll just be literally pet companion dogs. It'll eventually be SA or ESA registered, and that's it. I am currently thinking breeding-wise, my puppies will go anywhere from a year to 18 months in between breeds, okay? Breedings, okay? I am not going to be popping out any pooches at each heat cycle. No, we're not going to do all that, okay? Just so you know. Mine will be anywhere from a year to 18 months, okay? So, for instance, if I had a puppy that was pregnant and she gave birth 2 months from now, then a year and 2 months from now would probably be the earliest, and I'm talking dirt earliest, that I would ever breed her again. Because that's emotional. I feel like the dogs do go through emotional damage with having kids and then or having puppies and then they're taken away and then having another set right after in the next heat cycle. I feel like that's too much. So I'm thinking anywhere from a year to 18 months in between breedings. So it's going to be slow at the start, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not trying to get rich quick. I'm not trying to be the next puppy mill or anything like that. I want to breed dogs that I have compassion for. I can say without a shadow of a doubt, all 4 of these dog breeds I have never owned, ever. Okay? I know what you're thinking. So you're getting like 4 different breeds of working class dogs, and you've never owned a single one of them. Yes, you are correct. I will be. I have at least met 3 of these lovely dog breeds. Okay. My uncle used to have a Siberian Husky, he says, but I swear it was an Alaskan Malamute. Maybe a Husky Alaskan Malamute mix, but not full-blood Siberian Husky because of the broadness of its chest and the more it looked more filled out. Let's go with that, because I don't want to say fat, but it looked more filled out than it does with the Siberian Husky, or at least just a regular straight Siberian Husky. So I have met a Siberian Husky, 2 actually. I did visit a couple times with my uncle's dog as well. I'm still saying it's an Alaskan Malamute, let's be honest. I have met a Bernese Mountain Dog, 2 of them, okay? One from afar, and one up close, because, when you're going to PetSmart and you see the puppies, you just can't help it. So I did meet a Bernese Mountain Dog puppy in the PetSmart, and I was able to pet them. She was real sweet. And then I met a Bernese Mountain Dog adult from a distance about 2 weeks ago. This one looked like it was going through some things because it was lunging off the leash and stuff, trying to get to me. I think it was real nice, but some of these dogs you just don't know. But that's another reason why I'm getting it from birth, because the puppies from birth, because with it coming from birth, I will actually be able to get experience with the actual breed that I'm breeding. So I'm hoping to get the real gnarly ones, the ones with all their little territorial issues and stuff. When I do go to a proper breeder and start getting puppies for this, I do want to do that. But What was I saying? I do want to do that, but like, that's the last thing I remember saying. But I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, that way I can experience what it's like to have. I don't want to say the bad puppy, but the more challenging puppy, because when you have litters, you've got anything from the sweetest thing since cheese, and then you have the hellion on paws. So like, but at least I'll have. I don't want to say the rough of the rough, but I'll at least have a crash course on the more ones that need more hands-on attention to train out the quirks, because all dogs can be trained. Okay, I don't care what anyone says. All dogs can be trained. Now, how you train them or what method you use determines if the training is going to go well or not, okay? Because not every dog follows the same regimen. You can't be like, I'm going to treat this dog every day and give them, they're going to perform tasks and they're going to get treated for doing those tasks, and then they're going to learn, and then I'm going to be able to just snap my fingers and they're going to do it. No, because Bam Bam, I call him food pimping on the side because he does anything for food, okay? But not every dog is going to have a food drive. Some might have toy drives. Some might not want either one and just want pets. It's based off the dog, okay? So that's my professional opinion. I'm not a professional, but I'm going to give that one as my professional opinion. Each dog is different, so the training will switch depending on the dog. I'm hoping that I get 2 dogs, one female, one male, that are completely opposites. One might want treats, one might just want toys, okay? So that I can show you, like, hey, this treat thing, they might want something to eat, at that time, so they might take the treat, but it's not going to stick with them with that treat. They're just going to be like, oh, okay, cool. Not going to feel it. They're just going to be like, oh, you're giving out treats, okay, cool, all right, and then walk off. Bam Bam's actually real food motivated, so him and treats go hand in hand. But I do want to do that, get different aspects. And hopefully find a puppy that has 2 different puppies that have different aspects. Same breed though, because that's what it is. But, yeah. I think that's mostly my game plan. Yeah. The overall game plan, for now. But yeah, we will hopefully, because I don't plan on moving, honestly. So we will hopefully be stationed in Colorado, because I don't plan on going to another state. I think Colorado's great. I at least know like a couple of the dogs have double coats, so winter will be great. I don't want to be anywhere hot like I was, because I previously was in Texas. So I don't want to be all the way out there. Especially not. Yeah, because the husky, they can be out in Texas. Not gonna knock anyone that has a husky in Texas. They can be out there. I would prefer not to, just because of where they were raised to begin with, what they were bred for, what they were bred to do. I just don't feel comfortable having mine out there. If you want to have yours out there, wilding out, go ahead. Do what you gotta do. But I don't want to raise any huskies in Texas. So I do like the bipolar weather that Colorado has. I'm not gonna lie, I do like that. Because I was actually born in Missouri. They had like snow every year. Bam Bam is actually seeing snow for I shouldn't say the first time, because he's seen it at least twice, but since Texas doesn't have much snow, he probably saw maybe an inch of it. But out here it's a little deeper, and he likes rolling in it. I don't like it when he rolls in it, because the snow melts on his fur and then he's wet. But as long as he's having fun, it's okay. He likes eating it. Don't eat the yellow. And don't eat the black, okay? That's all I gotta tell him. That's all I have to say to him. And he moves on about his business. But I think Colorado's a great place for all 4 of these breeds. When I do eventually get all 4. I will start, as I stated, with just the Bernese Mountain Dogs first. So I will be getting 1 male and 1 female puppy. And then training them from there up to 2 years, getting their tests done, and then that'll be it. Next bit of talking. Woo! Okay, sorry. Next bit of talking. I know what you're thinking. Kaneka, you haven't stopped talking. I had my pauses. Come at me correct. next bit of business is my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel will actually have, I won't say sub accounts because they won't be sub accounts, but they'll have, what do you call them? Groups? We'll go with groups. They will have different groups. So one of them will just be this, what we're doing here, my journey from startup to air quotation finish. Another one will just be based off my breeding business itself. Okay. Another will be tutorials. I shouldn't say tutorials. Information based, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Because I don't know if y'all know, but if you go on YouTube and you look up how to tie off, like, I think it's like the umbilical cord or the excess that stems from the private genital areas, okay? Whether male or female. If you go, I'm sorry, I got distracted. I knew somebody in here. If you go based off that, I got distracted, hold on. If you look those up and try to figure out how to tie them off, I don't know if y'all know this, but those videos go way too fast, okay? I'm just looking at it, okay, so how did you tie it? How far down did you go? How many centimeters up is that? Like, I'm sitting there questioning everything in that video that I saw. I'm just like, so you didn't explain shit. You just tied some shit. You just tied it off with some dental floss and then you called it a day. You didn't tell me nothing. You didn't show me step by step. Like, cause I'm all about the step by steps, because if you're not giving me proper instructions, I'm gonna F it up. Just gonna let you know. So, and I'm just like, some of those videos, they go way too fast. So I will have videos on how to do that. There will be, educational videos. I will have educational videos on each individual one of my breeds, literally, that I will be breeding. They're just going to be little tidbits of my information, some that I've found while researching about each individual dog breed. Because if you were like me when you got your dog, or when I got Bam Bam, I did no research on my dog. Okay, I did no research. I went in there guns blazing with no prior experience of with any kind of dog, and he turned out okay. But it's the fact that no research was performed. So, like, I've got a mixed breed dog. He's Border Collie is his most dominant, I would think. But, like, he's got multiple breeds. At least 6, I think. And then 25% they couldn't break down. Because he's like 12.5 of almost everything. But it's the fact that I did no research. So this will be a video in reference to, hey, you can say, I did some research. And instead of just, like, going no holds barred into getting a dog without doing any research or anything like that. So that's another reason that pets wind up in shelters, is because they were surrendered or abandoned because owner didn't do any research. So they got a dog that's a yapper but didn't know the dog would be a yapper or have the possibility of being a yapper. Like your Siberian Huskies, they are very talkative, they are very vocal, okay? Someone who does not do research on a Siberian Husky, it just goes in and thinks they're going to have like this silent, majestic dog. They're going to be sadly mistaken, and then the dog will wind up either at a pound or a new friend's house who will then put the dog in a pound, and it'll just go, it's an endless cycle. So I will have research material on in my learning section. I don't like the way that sounds. Okay? So it takes me forever to learn some things. So, in my, what do I want to call it? In my educational, we'll go with that. In my educational videos, so we'll have the breeding, start to finish breeding business stuff. Then we'll have the educational videos. We'll have a section just for puppy videos. So that's just, oh, look at the cute little baby videos. Yes, those, the cute ones, yes. The little floofa pups, yeah. That'll literally just be, hey, I don't want to say day in a life type of stuff, but it'll be just like videos of the puppies when they start being born and stuff. So heads up, because I'm planning on getting the puppies, the dogs that I will be breeding at such a young age, expect not to see any puppy videos other than of those 2 dogs until, when is that? 2 years from when the puppy actually starts. So you will have puppy videos of me like just putting videos on there, little bitty snippets of like the dogs maybe sleeping, and you're just like, oh, look at the cute little thing, look at these little cheeks. And then other videos that might just be of them playing with each other or Bam Bam interacting with them. Those will probably be the only puppy videos you will see until I actually start breeding the dogs. So don't get discouraged. There will eventually be puppies. but you won't see like a herd of puppies until I actually finish the first breeding. Um, so yeah, there will be puppies, but not as much. Mostly these videos will literally be me talking, okay? I'm forewarning you, okay? I am forewarning you, okay? I took the time out to tell you, alright, the videos for right now are just gonna be me talking, okay? So, kudos for me. Um, if I have annoyed you at all, this is probably not the channel for you. Because if you're already annoyed by me, you've got roughly 2 to 3 months before I actually get puppies on here. So that's 2 to 3 months of me talking. Evil laugh inserted. But yeah, so breeding business start to finish, the educational videos, puppy videos, and then the section that will be the fostering videos. So it'll just be literally when I start fostering, it'll be just like, oh, here's Sharara, okay? Don't ask me where that came from, but I just come up with random names. But so Sharara will pop up, and I will give y'all her backstory, what's going on with her, health clearances and everything. Let you know if she's got any issues, any hard limits, like hey, she don't like kids and stuff. That would be what I would be doing in that, and then I will show y'all training videos depending on how advanced the training is when they come to me, because I'm quite sure some of these dogs, depending on if I'm getting really, really adult ones, are stuck in their ways. So some of them might need training. Some of them might not even know how to sit. My mom's dog didn't quite comprehend sit. He eventually did it, but he did not quite comprehend sit. And I'm like, he was almost 2. Okay, so there will be some older dogs that might not have as much training as they should have. That will be what I will be doing. I will be training those dogs, so you will see their backstory and then the training that I do with them in the fostering section. And then at that point, y'all could reach out and be like, hey friend, so I saw the pooch you had. How do I go about getting in contact with such and such, the shelter, to see if I could qualify, or however they go about doing that? Because in a way, this will be non-profit for me. I won't be getting anything for this. I will literally just be going in, getting some dogs out to foster them. So I'm not sure yet, but I think I do have to pay to foster dogs. But I will be getting some dogs, fostering them, trying to get them caught up in training if they're behind, try to rehabilitate if they have scared issues or something like that, and go from there. But that'll all be on that group of the channel. So there'll be roughly like 4 groups, okay? And then there will be one more group, which is just NBHA, or NBA, oh my god, what did I name my channel? NBHA, which, if y'all hadn't gathered, the N is for Newfoundland, the H is for the Husky, although technically it's a Siberian Husky. The N is for Newfoundland, the B is for Bernese Mountain Dog, the H is for the Husky, which is going to be Siberian, and then the A is for the Akita. That's what I did there with that, I know, real creative. But so it's NBHA Fur Family of Colorado, because we will be stationed in Colorado. Y'all don't need to know where, so don't be all up in my comments talking about, so where you located in Colorado is all you're going to get. Unless you're actually getting one of my puppies, then I will tell you. Unless you're actually fostering one of the fosters that I bring in, then I will tell you. And that will be private message. I don't want to see, oh, she lives in on my comments, okay? Cool. I'm a hot piece of meat, okay? And I don't need y'all trying to holler at me from a distance or coming to my house, because that's a little creepy, okay? That's what we call stalkerish tendencies. We don't need none of that on here, okay? I'm trying to keep it Christ-like, Christian-based. Not really, but, Christian values. We'll go with that. Don't need no stalkers, okay? As I progress in my breeding business, we will go out. I know. We're going outside. No, so we will go out to do meet and greets, or say Colorado's doing a 5K. We might go do that. Can I run a 5K now? Hell no. But the thought is there. So we'll eventually do something like that. A couple of things like that, because I know a lot of my dogs. Okay, so can't even say a lot. Every single one of my dog breeds requires exercise. The Newfoundland will require exercise, but not as much as the other dogs. But I will be doing that. I will be having my dogs exercise, okay? Every single one of my dogs will learn to go on a treadmill. You want to know why? You want to know why? You want to know why? The reason being, I don't like walking in the rain. I will go out there in the snow. I will go out there in clear, hot weathers, cool weathers. I will go out there and I will walk my ass off. But not in the rain. Something about wet dog just does not scream, hey, let's do it. So they will learn to do a treadmill just so they can still get their exercise and I not have to worry about it. But I don't think I've seen much rain out here in Colorado. It rains. I think I've seen it a couple of times, but I don't think I've ever seen like a week in a row. Like, so that'll be great. But I think that'll be it for today's video because this is currently 50 minutes and some change. 51 minutes and 5 seconds. But I refuse to cut this video, okay? So just to let y'all know, I probably will never cut my videos. So what you see is what you get. Like, I will just literally upload it the way it is, okay? So be prepared. But we're gonna sign off. I say we, although you've been talking to me the entire time. But Bam Bam is still here. He's kind of tuned me out. He does that when he knows, because he knows I'm long-winded sometimes. Bam Bam, come here. So, can you say goodbye? Can you say goodbye? Can you say goodbye? Nope, just don't stretch. Goodbye. All right, this is Kandeka signing off. Bye.